Welcome back to Pro and Noob. We are on the eve of the counterattack, or the night before the counterattack, whichever translation you want to go with.
Right.
So 14, 15, and 16 for Attack on Titan Season 1. It's Mitch 692, Jarod, the Dark Jedi, has watched 3 episodes this time.
I have.
He's all good. I will never drop it, just so he knows.
And we are still several years into a very loving creative partnership between myself and many people who make up the Comic Book Cast collective, who have still not yet attempted to say my last name on air.
Jarod Buckman Stubbs.
There you go. Armin still hasn't said it.
I want to say you said that in...
I made a joke about it, and he went, yeah, and then moved on. And I'm like... and like, I know he doesn't... I know he deliberately doesn't use his last name on air. So, like, I'm not going to make a joke about the fact that, like, I learned how to say it. But...
Bless him.
I'm just trolling. But either way. No, this is a fun 3 episodes.
Before we start quickly,
yes.
before we do that,
please.
Did you enjoy your time with the Bees and the Eagles?
I did enjoy my time with the Bees and the Eagles. Iconic.
What classic song?
Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest though, like the themes aren't doing it for me.
I will give you this. The second one, which you're currently on now, isn't the best one.
Like Bees and the Eagles, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like the first time it hit, it was very much like, again, like it evoked so much of what this show is meant to make you feel, and I appreciated it for that. However, I was like after like the first couple times, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
And then this second one, I'm like, oh, new theme.
This one I find really forgettable. It's the next one. The next one's probably the most iconic one for the whole thing. Next to, I want to say, it's season 4, part 2. That OP. That one is huge. It's insane. But
we'll see. Like I said, up to this point, I'm a little unimpressed. But I will say that that also has to exist in concert with everything we've done on this show. That it is, that all of the Attack on Titan openings are going head to head with Cruel Angel's Thesis, Tank, Otonoke, and
Kakameduchu.
What's the name of the second one for Dan to Dan?
Kakameduchu. Or you want to say On the Way. On the Way.
On the Way. Sure. Okay. On the Way. So it's competing. It's competing with Cruel Angel, Tank, Otonoke, and On the Way. Like, it has really stiff competition. Like last night, Taylor and I were coming back from her family's. They did like an early Thanksgiving. We're recording this like a few days before Thanksgiving. We were coming back from her family's early celebration. And she's just Taylor, and I love Has Been Hotel as well. It's just Taylor, like when we're in the car, it is either it's
Have you seen season 2 yet?
I'm halfway through. I'm almost at the end. But like it's either like Taylor Swift or Has Been in the car. With the occasional Kendrick Lamar. Because she throws me a bone. And lets me get my GNX on a little bit. But either way, I don't know why it put me in I don't know. She was playing Nifty's song, you know, which I also realized that's because of you guys, that's Penny Parker, which I had a hearty chuckle about.
I love Nifty's song in that episode.
But yeah, so like that,
so fun.
It came on and like she has the part where she's singing in Japanese, and I don't know why, but it like flipped a switch in my brain where I wanted to hear 4 specific songs. 2 of them were nerdcore and 2 of them were anime theme songs. And let that be an indicator of where of how well this little experiment is going. But I wanted to play. Hold on, I want to get the artist name right because I never get it right. Because I appreciate a little bit of nerdcore hip hop from time to time. I used to be in my youth. This might be a throwback. Mitch, do you remember Dan Bull?
Dan Bull.
He was a UK nerdcore rapper.
I don't think so. No. I might have heard. I saw the fucking.
I was going to say he was also in a couple epic rap battles of history. He played Jack the Ripper and he played Churchill.
See, I never really watched any of those.
I love them, but
I watched a few of them. I never really got into all of them, but
I loved it. I was a surprise to fucking nobody. But there was this one nerdcore song that blew up on TikTok years ago, like prime pandemic. It's called "Bars No Jutsu" by.
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
By I don't know if it's Louis or Louis Capone. I was in the mood to listen to that, and I actually revisit that song at the end of every single season of Pro and Noob because I want to see if there's another bar I understand now. And I realized that now. I actually like fully have context for the whole hook. Like he's like, joining the scout regiment, cutting their neck like I did to the rest, and I was like, hey.
He finally gets it.
Oh, and then it was the Dan Bull Battlefront 2 rap, which goes incredibly hard. And then it was Cruel Angel Thesis and Odonoke. Just blasting out of the car. Anyway.
I need you to hear like Iris Out and Kickback. The Chainsaw Man intros. Those things are immaculate. They're perfect. And it's completely different vibe. Somehow it matches the tone of Chainsaw Man, which I don't understand how it does it, because it shouldn't, but it does.
But
we will get there one day. We will get
there one day. All of that to say, these 3 episodes were a lot of fun. Fun. I really like the atmosphere of them a lot. I think that's something I really liked. It feels very much like, obviously, like this is the beginning of a new arc, and I understand that.
This is like arc. These 3 episodes, whole arc.
Well, cool then. But like, what I'm trying to get at is like, I know that like the Trost stuff is its own story. I want to make it abundantly clear to everybody at home. I understand like story arcs as like a formatting device, but I really did appreciate the way that like this arc in and of itself had a really cohesive like 3-act structure. Like it wasn't just like, and this is the story we're going on, and this is how the story ends, and here's a middle part. Like I really felt like a full 3-act like full story was told here. And a lot of the time, like a lot of like story arc based storytelling tends to be very like, like here's an event that took place.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like that's not a criticism or like particularly high praise here. It was just like the pacing of these 3 episodes was remarkable. And quite frankly, it made up for the last set of episodes where I was kind of lukewarm. But no, I really like that.
So the whole court thing might actually be my favorite of season 1.
I liked it. Yeah,
it's just so good. There's not a lot of shows like this, or in shows in general, that would take the entire thing and just sit you in a courtroom for like 15 minutes out of 20.
Stop
get shooting your shot over yourself.
I didn't. I actually realized the moisture wicking on this is actually quite remarkable because this wasn't screwed on all the way. And it leaked a little bit onto me. But it fully disappeared. No, so if I can say something about the courtroom thing, I didn't dislike it. I thought it was a little underbaked, like it felt very like, I don't know. What this show does really well is characterization. And creating very like at once believable but larger than life characters. However, nuance and like complexity is something that I find a little, not there. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, except for the moments where like the show is trying to like introduce some amount of like nuance and complexity, and it kind of falls flat on its face. And again, like the scene was good. It was very well acted. It was very well paced. I just, again, a lot of the show is giving like, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are certain moments where we were talking before about how the show takes like these two like at odds ways to depict war and warfare, right? That it is, the heroism of service versus the meat grinder. And how they use like a winding path to connect the two in a really interesting way. There are some times where the discussion of warfare kind of feels, and it only feels this way because it is happening next to how like well written and that instance nuanced element of like the new like the heroism through the meat grinder. There are also instances that feel very like junior ROTC coded. And
junior what?
Like the junior Marines. Like there are certain moments that are like, I remember, I don't know if I brought this up before, but like I remember when I was in high school, there were a lot of kids I knew who were in like the ROTC program, and their whole personality is they're going to be a Marine one day. And hey, happy for you. But they spoke exclusively as though they were the grizzled side character in a Call of Duty campaign. And there were instances where like, I think I once used the term former Marine, and like 4 of them at once cut me off to say, there's no such thing as a former Marine. And we're like 14 fucking years old, right? And there are instances where this show is very like poignant in the way that it is talking about like propaganda, and the way that especially a young person can be convinced that like there is nobility in being a nameless corpse. And again, like exalting the very idea of death in service. And there are other times where I feel like it has just been a lot of like, you're talking to a former, or you're talking to a future Marine. And the courtroom scene was a little bit of that. And a lot of it is in the like, again, the tone of the show, like politically, the tone of the show, like this is one of those instances where like there's a pointed undertone that my ears perked up at, and it's the way that like they speak to the merchants. And
the whole piggy bit.
And again, there is such a thing as war profiteering on it, obviously, and there is such a thing as those who are in power allowing their power and influence and clout to keep them away from very uncomfortable, ugly realities that their societal lessers have to bear the brunt of. That is a real thing that happens in our real world, and it happens in a lot of fictional worlds as well. However, the fact that so much of it was about like, oh yeah, you have all that money and power, but you don't fight, you fucking pussy. Like, and again, and there was no like, there was no looking at it as like as like a socio-political thing. It was nothing to do with like exploitation. It was to do with like, oh, well, you're soft and happy and away from the danger like a coward. Ooh. And there was a moment where I went, oh, yeah, because like the people, the people of our wall society need to feel betrayed by the upper class. That's like because again, it's one of the core ingredients to fascism is let's take sociopolitical, socioeconomic concepts and language and issues, and let's just remove the part where we hold the capital owners responsible and hold them accountable, but just blame them instead. And just say, these people who hold power are doing an evil thing and committing an act of betrayal, and not grappling with, okay, but how do we fix it? It's no, we're angry with you for doing it. And the way of fixing it is eradication, not undoing systems. It's at a group of people, not the system with which they benefit from. And again, it's one of those instances where, like, again, I'm trying to check the things I've heard at the door.
Yeah.
But even if I do that, the aesthetics and the language that this show traffics in, also having this moment where all of the fat cats are saying, this incredibly violent and dangerous thing is really a bad fucking idea. And all of the capital owners are going, why don't we just put our money to a different use that isn't this violent, insane idea? And then you have our special violent boy who can then, defiantly cut a promo on them. And again, these are those moments where it's like, okay, I see the way we are structuring a cult of personality. I see the way we are structuring we are lionizing somebody in real time, like minute by minute time lapse of this is how we can create somebody who can probably lead the world into oblivion. And I see that, and it scares me. And again, it's compelling. It's compelling.
It's also not by his own doing either.
What do you mean?
Well, he's not exactly out here trying to make a cult personality around himself.
I think he thinks he deserves it.
No.
Put your faith in me.
I mean, he's desperately also trying to stay alive at that point.
Sure. But
a lot of it is, I don't really want to die, right?
Sure.
Please. No.
And you know what? I've never been in that situation, but you know what I can tell you?
It's also he's not the situation he's in the courtroom
of a military tribunal that is trying to decide what to do with me and my insane superpower. I'm going to talk about how willing I am to be a part of the cause. I don't think anybody in that room, like especially Aaron's fellow cadets, that their minds are capable of going to a place that myopic of put your faith in me. Like I'm sorry. I think Aaron has a profound Messiah complex. We are talking Paul Atreides shit, where like I think this kid is fully convinced and fully believes his own hype that like he pre-knowing he could do Titan shit believed he was capable of doing all of single-handedly felling the Titans as a species. And now, and now we have this element where he is like very much fully like, yeah, no, like I could do it all by myself. I think there was a Messiah complex. He may not actively right now be wanting to establish some type of cult of personality and like following. But he also believes he is the center of the universe.
No. I think you're half there and half no. I don't think he's...
And that's fair. That's just my read.
That's
just my read. I see a glimmer in this little fucker's eye.
A glimmer, sure,
but he may not even be actively conscious of.
I mean, it's fair, yeah.
But I think there's a there. What were you getting ready to say?
I can't remember, to be honest. I think a lot of where you're getting that from is the preconceived notion of what you think this show does. If that makes sense. I think you're trying to put an end to the point here now.
I don't think so. Because, like, again, because you got to remember, I went into this show thinking that, like, if it was what I heard it is, that this would be the story of this kid's slow roll into radicalization.
But I think knowing that there's that slow roll is...
And then I watched the first episode.
It starts here. It's the confirmation bias of it. Like, it's just
because I threw that out the window the moment I realized he was already about that shit from jump. And I threw it out the window extra when I realized he was already about that shit even earlier as a person. Like that, and that's what I'm getting at. Is that, like, I thought this would be the horrors of war change a guy into something else. I did not realize that from day one, from line one, it was I will kill them all and do, like, manifest destiny for humanity. And that completely reshaped how I was expecting to engage with Aaron, and I'm doing, and my ability to engage with it has been episode by episode. And I'm waiting for a moment to see, like, to see an optimism from him that isn't rooted in we will take the world by force, but, like, everything is still very much like, oh, gotta kill them all. But yeah, and like I said, the courtroom scene was good. Again, it was well acted, it was well paced, it was well edited. It's structured brilliantly. I liked it a lot. But it was very much that, like, you're not a soldier. You're not in the shit. You don't get it because you're a coward. You're a fat cat. And, you know.
In the context of this world and the ranking of the military that they have with the ODM gear, I think the scouts are kind of justified. The scouts are the ones that put themselves in the shit.
You're right. Again, you're right.
They're not in, like, you know, they're not protecting Cena. They're not where they can just sit back and relax. Like, they are the ones actively, like, going out there.
And again, you're right. But you're right because the show agrees that they're right. You know what I mean? Like, there's also kind of like a snake eating its own tail there. And again, it's just one of those instances where, like, you know, if you're familiar with how this shit happens, this shit happens,
sure.
Like again, you look at fucking Nazi Germany, you know, again, like it's one of those things that, like, I can't help but notice it because it's being propped up by the aesthetics. It's being propped up by the visual language. That everything is, like, you know, like, I have all of this, like, German whatever going on that, like, you know, like there's the great betrayal conspiracy theory with World War I. That all of the powerful capital owners and bankers, and spoiler alert, what they mean by that is Jewish people, you know, conspired to have Germany basically throw World War I. That the goal was for them to throw the Great War. Because for whatever reason, it would be more beneficial, you know, again, and like these Byzantine, like, you know, the conspiracy theories that make no fucking sense. But, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't help but go, ooh, wait a minute. It looks like you're doing one of those.
No, that's sure. That's
kind of my grand point about the courtroom.
I mean, yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I just think that it's the... You have what it's saying, you have the context of the show. You go back to, I think it was last week, where it's like, it's not inherently this, it's just very much a parallel line to it.
Yeah.
It is and it isn't. It's one of those. I think right now, you know, personally, I think Levi's justified in saying. Yeah, I think,
and yeah,
his little monologue, like, you know what, fuck you.
and again, you're right. Like, there is something to be said for, like, again, the profiteering off of suffering and, existing in a bubble that does not reflect that of the real fucking world, man. Like, again, all of that is real. All of that is legit. All of that is rooted in fact, both in our world and in the text of Attack on Titan. I'm just saying the specific language and specific framing is, again, one of those moments where if I went into this knowing absolutely nothing based on everything I've seen up to this point, I would have had a moment where I went, oh no, this sounds like The Great Betrayal a little bit. And, whatever. But yeah, and again, also part of it is just like the very, and I mean this in a, like, this isn't an insult to the show. I think this is intentional. Like, the way that Aaron and Levi, to a lesser extent, like, have big, like, Reddit philosopher vibes.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh yeah, so like, you know what violence looks like. I'm gonna scream, be like, ah, and I'm gonna punch him in the fucking face in a courtroom. And I'm gonna scream and I'm gonna yell, and it's that, like, it's that, like, conceit of, like, well, like, I'm not out of order, this whole courtroom's out of order, kind of thing, where it's like, I win by telling you everything's ridiculous. Which, again, like, we call that, like, Reddit edgelord philosophy, brain rot. But, like, that phenomena has existed all throughout history.
Oh, of course.
Of somebody who thinks it's profound to say this whole situation, this whole system is inherently flawed. Therefore, any judgment call you can make against me is null and void. Especially because I'm a special boy who's not afraid of the things you're afraid of. So.
In fairness, again, he had every right to beat the shit out of him at that point.
Yeah.
And he was right to do it as well, because it proves his point.
It does. And I like seeing Aaron get hit in the face.
Get his teeth knocked out.
I don't like this fucking guy. I want to make sure people know he's a compelling character to watch. Aaron, I want everybody to know he's compelling to watch. He's a very, very compelling character. Again, we're getting back to the Penelope Featherington, Oscar Langley effect, where there is a part of me that looks at this person and goes, wow, I really don't like you, but I love watching you. So that's where I am with Aaron. So there was a part of me that kind of enjoyed just the absolute.
I think if anyone's ever said
walloping,
if anyone's ever said I really like Eren Yeager for who he is, they are absolutely insane. I've never seen anyone say that. But then the reaction maybe, that's a conversation for later on down the line.
I mean, again, like, I think that gets at, like, you and I had a fun little conversation in the CBC Facebook group the other night where you said some ridiculous shit.
Are you meaning last night?
Yeah, last night.
Oh, I mean...
But it's the Anakin Skywalker of it all. It's the Anakin Skywalker of it all. You have people who, like, almost worship that character. And it's fully based on rule of cool and thinking he's awesome and badass and all of these things. When in reality, it's like, no, like, this is a tragic character. This is somebody whose life is defined by making poor choices, by making calls that are, the some with his heart in the right place, some where he's completely out of balance emotionally. But at the end of the day, he is a deeply caring person who makes horrible, horrible, horrible choices that lead to absolute calamity. And it's the story of that person trying to save their soul and having their soul saved. Whereas, to quote the Facebook post we're alluding to, most people who think this highly of Anakin / Darth Vader, it's all hype edits. It's let's put a cool, like, slowed down version of a song with, like, a rattling new bass line and be like, oh yeah, this is why I like Anakin Skywalker, and not for the reasons of, not that he is a tragic hero, and it's not the tragedy. It's not what the story's about. It's that he does cool things. And, it just again, based on how Aaron is presented in this show, already I can see how people fall into that trap. Where it's like, this is a compelling person who is born of tragedy, who is brought into a world that is full of decimation and carnage and death and destruction all around him at all times, and finds himself galvanized by it. And there is a nobility in the immature way he thinks that he can just fix this world's problems, when in reality, like, there are just systemic issues at home that like go beyond the Titans. That if this society, if all the Titans drop dead tomorrow, and we knew for a fact all of them were gone and were never coming back, there are systemic issues with the way the society is organized that will persist.
Like Fixer says, right?
Yeah. And it's looking through the eyes of this kid who's like, no, like, I will just military at the world until it does the right thing, which is something Anakin says in Attack of the Clones. But
that sounds like Lucas dialogue, in fairness, especially prequel level.
Yeah, but
I will military the world. Yeah. Great line.
But other than that, I really liked the mansion stuff. I find, or the castle stuff, just like everybody getting there and kind of setting up shop was fun.
I think they do a really good job there. They give everyone just enough in the Levi squad to get you latched onto it.
I will say is it Hanj?
Which one?
The section commander who's like doing all the research on the Titans.
Oh, I can never remember a fucking name. Something like that. Yeah, you're right. Bang on, yeah, Hanj.
Hell yeah.
Zoe Hanj, yeah. She crazy. She wild.
She is.
You horny for Titan. That's crazy.
Mitch, I think there's a conspiracy afoot.
Oh, what gave you that idea?
I think she got too close.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Who do you think the real enemy is, Jarod?
See, here's the problem. Here's the conundrum I'm in.
Fantastic moment, by the way.
It is.
That face is so funny. It doesn't fit in the slides. Because you must have seen that bit before. Because that meme went everywhere, and it still.
I don't know if I did. But no. So here's the issue I have with this show. Is that I find myself at a weird crossroads where on one hand, I want to engage with it textually in terms of theme and metaphor. And on the other hand, I have a fun time. And unfortunately, I think we accidentally structured this show around me trying to figure things out, especially shows like this, similar to Evangelion. And on the other hand, for me to try to predict things, I almost unfortunately need to think like Eren Yeager. And I need to accept.
That's not too difficult for you, let's be honest.
Go fuck yourself.
Years on a pipeline, Jarod, you're gonna pick it up. Let's be honest.
That's so rude and not at all.
Notice how he hasn't ever said wrong.
He's just did. I said that it's rude and not at all my worldview, meaning you're wrong.
I never said it's your worldview. I said it's not difficult for you. That's two very different things.
Oh no, I mean I know a lot about that world. I understand the thought process. So I need to like accept yourself. I need to shut the fuck up. I think on some level, I still maintain that the Titans are a man-made creation that was initially created again, like with some type of like Ozymandias gambit.
Maybe. Maybe.
That like these were created so that we could bring humanity together, and it went out of control, and now humanity is very much together in a tiny little fucking corner. And
that just got smaller as well.
That is, shrinking precipitously. And
Titans are squids. There you go.
Yeah. And I think there are parts of high command that know.
Oh.
And I think there are parts of high command that not only know, but know that they need to clean up their own mess so they can just get this over with now, because it's like gone so out of control. And I think on some level they're like, yeah, like we need to use Aaron to win, and we need to get to this cellar so that we can get damning evidence off of the table. You know,
explain why Commander Ikari gave Aaron to the scouts, wouldn't it? No.
Commander Ikari?
It's the same voice actor.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you not? Like, how did you not hear that?
I wasn't listening for it.
No one else said that, man. Like, there's only.
Well, don't forget, the Commander Ikari I got when we were watching it on Netflix is different than the original, right?
Sure, but the last Ikari you've heard is
okay. Well, I mostly remember the Netflix.
This is why fuck the Netflix stuff.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think on some level the goal is get this damning information out of play, and use part of that information as our aha. We have our way to defeat the Titans. Get to the part that says we did this shit. That's what I think is going on. And I think Hanj, it was like low-key on the precipice of going, these things can't exist naturally.
No, they can't.
Again, there's no real, like the insides don't function in any real way. They
don't really have insides.
Exactly. Yeah, like there's no real insides. The steam, they're very much implied to be solar powered. They're weightless.
Which is really funny when you look at what the Titans do.
Yeah.
They're weightless, but
they're incredibly strong.
Yeah, like you have like the colossal Titan. You can kick a door down, that wall. Like how? If it's weightless, it's got nothing behind it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not bitching about it. It's just funny to me.
And again, I don't know. Maybe they'll explain some type of like scientific gobbledygook to
because the one I think it's the one that it's not the one that kills Marco, but the one that jumps and snatches that guy. I think it's right before Eren gets eaten. Like, that should have just gone. Now, if they're just like helium, why did that thing not go into the stratosphere? That'd have been funny as fuck. Maybe in the cheapy Attack on Titans thing they made that I never watched, which is a wild idea. But anyway, that's just me thinking out loud.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta pause for 1 second. But yeah, no, like it's all the weird solar panel shit or the solar powered kind of maybe. These had to be made.
They're more like people. They're more like people, right? Because you don't get sunlight, you get all groggy. You get the big sads. It's a thing people get.
Yeah. I don't trust it. I don't trust this. There's something fishy afoot. And I am very much convinced that part of what can galvanize Eren into being this cult of personality is being all tear it down and rebuild the same fucking thing, but with me.
You think he's gonna join the Wool cult? No.
Dude.
I don't get how we talked about the cult and you didn't bring up the Wool cult. It's so funny to me.
Because I'm thinking about character stuff right now.
It's really funny because you hear the Wool cult. It's one of the first things you hear in episode 1. Is someone rambling on about the conspiracy of the Wool straight off the bat.
Okay, can you tell me what the Wall cult is?
They just think it's a divine gift from up above. To protect them from the Titans.
I need so much more. I need so much more.
Maybe you will get more, Jarod.
Maybe
you will get more.
Sure as shit hope I do. Because
for your sake, I hope you do as well.
Because everybody at home knows there's a few things I like more than a fundamentalist cult and some religious psychosis to go with it. Especially if that cult can be instrumental in an extremist movement in some way, shape, or form. Not that that's a good thing in the real world, but I find it a compelling phenomenon.
He has to say that.
Listen, it's not like I haven't read like 3 books about QAnon or anything.
You never do yourself any favors, do you?
No, why would somebody not want to know about that? Why would somebody not want to know about that?
Anyway.
How is it not an incredible mixture of hilarious, fascinating, compelling, and deeply informative about what's moving the body politic?
I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying anyway. No favors. That's what I'm saying. No favors.
It's true. It's true.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying no favors.
But yeah. And then yeah, pretty much everybody decided to become a scout. That was deeply unsurprising. Not that was bad that it was unsurprising. But
that was a really good scene, though.
A phenomenal scene. I love the speech.
Cool scene.
I love the speech.
Also, music's starting to play a lot more of a part in how everything feels. Yeah. It's really fucking good. Because they have that piano again, for like 5 minutes.
I think that it's a great scene. It's really moving. It also, again, is moving towards this idea of like, there is a group of lesser people who will reap the benefits of those who are their moral betters theme, and how it's really easy to other the people who are not like super into the blood and guts of it all, which I find compelling again. And what I think is interesting about it is that it is not framed like that by what's his name, Captain Irwin, yeah, where like he is not saying like, oh, I think you're cowardly.
No,
if you're
I would not
part of the garrison or you're part of the MPs, like I get it, and for everybody, and we need other people in those places. We need people in those places. I don't blame you. I get it. I don't think I want it, but I am. You know, like there's a lot of that. Like, I get it. You don't have to be here, but if you choose to do it, I think very highly of you. It's not that I think lesser of you. It's that I think highly of this guy.
You get the genuine salutes,
right? And I think it's really interesting to start in that place of all of these are important and we need some people over here, but we all need to acknowledge this job, meat grinder. Are you going to sign up for the meat grinder? And it's really easy for that group of people to get a chip on their shoulder and be like, oh, hey, you having fun? You having fun with your flask? You know, like jerking off on guard duty? You know, like, fuck you. And again, the episode ends with
the Pixis disrespect. That's crazy.
No, I'm not talking about Pixis. I'm talking about Jackass from the very first episode.
Oh, him. I thought you meant. Yeah, I just think Flask and think Pixis.
No,
that conversation is great, by the way.
Yes, it is. I'm just generally speaking about like. You know, there is a complacency that the other branches are allowed. Pardon me. There's a complacency the other branches are allowed to have that the Scouts can't.
Yeah.
And again, what's the name of the guy who made a big deal about like I'm joining the Scouts and you can't stop me? And it's about Marco.
Oh, it begins with a J.
Jean.
John, that's one. Yeah.
You know, like, and again, going back towards like, you know, Aaron Yeager's cult of personality, like the way he kind of starts mean mugging him, and then it's like, but if you personally can tell me all of this will be worth it because you alone can solve this problem, I will happily get eaten by a Titan.
I think happily is very strong there. That was doing a lot for your sake.
We will follow you into battle without question. Like,
yeah, but happily is a very different one. Very different one.
Okay. Hyperbole.
Just like, poor Jean. Don't do him like that.
But like, again, like we're building up this ability to just kind of, you know. But yeah,
it's not through his own doing. Sorry. Little small dick in the course of destroy paths.
But yeah, I think but no, these episodes are great, and I'm enjoying watching the. I get like it feels like we're headed towards something really bad that isn't just man-eating monsters. Like it feels like we're heading towards like a societal bad thing. Like it. I mean,
we have a potential spy plot now, so who knows?
Yeah, like it just feels like something really ugly that isn't a Titan is about to rear its head. And I'm like really enjoying the tension because it feels like not even the characters in the story are fully aware of the fact that like it feel like this is like the historical event I'm about to compare it to is small potatoes in a world like this, but in the way it had like huge ramifications. It feels like we're staring down the barrel of like a Watergate style issue.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
You know, like it feels like we were staring down the barrel of like, oh, like we were lied to, or even better, like a weapons of mass destruction with Bush, with the war on terror in Iraq. Like it feels like there was about like a shoe is about to drop that just has we were lying or there is something we didn't tell you written on it that is about to drop. And I love the tension that is born of that. But it feels like we're about to find out about some fuck shit.
Well, you got plenty more to go.
I do. I have lots.
You do, yeah. Is that everything?
That's all I got.
Oh. So I'm trying to think. There was one thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was now.
You got to start writing shit down, big dog.
I do. It doesn't help that I watched Forward the next couple of episodes the other day. Yeah, because I watched these two and then I watched a couple more and a couple more. I'm like, I have to stop. I just have to fucking stop. But I did make sure that they're laid out nicely. So it's all fine. It's all good. It works. I'm not going to go any further than what I have done because I'm like, no, I made that mistake. Then I rewatched these three, and I'm just, it's all jumbled in my head into one, and I'm like, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't talk about that. And it's my mistake. But yeah, we'll be back next week for, I believe it's the next three. Have you seen any previews?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I think I saw like one like weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine.
But no, I go out of my way to not watch the previews. I also, like I said, like I'll watch the ending credits.
I'm also just not sure how Hulu works. Because sometimes Netflix will just back up the preview for the next one. Some people just skip the credits entirely. And
I will watch like a new credit sequence like once, and depending on how much I like it, I will watch it the whole time. Like that was a big reason why like Cowboy Bebop took us so long to do, was because I listened to Real Folk Blues every motherfucking time.
As you should.
I was ready to just start dancing that. I was like, yeah. make love to me with that fucking guitar and those horns.
It's so good. It's so good. The ending for this one is not too bad, actually. It's okay. I think I prefer it more than the opening. It's like I think the visuals for this opening is better than the original one.
Right.
But I think the song's better. But meh, that is what it is. Yeah, back next week for the next 3 episodes. Jarod, you can tell them where.
You can find me on the Nerd Academy podcast, where we are doing Road to Doomsday, our MCU rewatch show, getting ready for Avengers Doomsday. That is just barely a year or just over a year away.
Barring any delays.
God.
I don't wish that on you, Jarod.
I swear to fucking God. No, because what you need to understand is, we've referenced it on the show. Taylor and I, when we finished phase 1, we went to the calendar store at our local mall and we bought a new calendar. And we came home.
Is a calendar store a whole store for calendars?
It's calendars and like board games and like collectibles and stuff, but it's mostly calendars. It's literally called it's like Calendars Games and Co. or whatever. But we went in there. I got a new calendar and literally just started going, okay, well, if we start releasing the show on YouTube on this day, this is how it's going to pan out. And we have episodes scheduled up to like the Tuesday before the movie is scheduled to come out.
Wow.
Like,
is it out on a Tuesday?
No, the Tuesday before.
Oh, okay.
So like if we go, so if we see it like opening night that Thursday, there will be like one last episode that comes out days before the public gets to see Avengers Doomsday. And then we will be doing what I plan on being the final episode of the Road to Doomsday that night as like a celebration live stream, like reactions to thing. And then we will do like a proper review as a Nerd Academy episode.
Yeah.
But or the review might end up being the actual final Road to Doomsday episode. Either way,
I mean, that would make sense.
But everything is broken down to like fully take us all the way to Avengers Doomsday. If they delay this shit, Bob, we have a lot to talk about.
I mean, at least the delay works in your favor.
Not really, because then I need to come up with more shit to do.
Works.
I have to do more. I have to come up with more shit to do.
Yeah, that's the easy part. If they brought it forward.
Oh, they brought it forward. I'm fucking cooked. If they brought it forward, I'm fucking. That's not true. That's not actually true because there is some stuff that we can cut out.
I mean, in fairness, you just dropped the last like 5 the week before. Every day is just a new episode, and it's done.
And we also have a contingency.
Filling in a gap of a delay is easy. That's fine.
We also have a contingency that like if like something were to come up that like we would do double drops certain weeks to get more of it out. But like we also have like our bonus episodes. Like before we do No Way Home, we are going to be doing like a Raimi and Mark Webb bonus episode. Before we do Deadpool and Wolverine, there's going to be a bonus episode that's revisiting Deadpool 1 and 2. You know, like we have like November is going to be X-Men month. You know, where it's just going to be all X-Men stuff leading into December, which is going to like mostly be like the end of the X-Men stuff and then a like final prediction thing. Like all of that is like built into the regiment, and if they were to delay this, I don't know how to fill that gap currently. But either way, I don't know what will be out on the main feed by the time you're seeing this. Probably
it's 4 weeks from now.
4 weeks from now? Holy Christ. Guardians of the Galaxy would probably have come out today.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, because we're recording this on the day that Iron Man 3 came out on the main feed.
Yeah.
So we got Thor, Winter Soldier. Or wait a minute. Thor, Winter Soldier, Guardians, Avengers Age of Ultron, which Mitch was on for. That was a lot of fun.
It's been the best one. It's been the best one so far.
Perhaps.
Nothing. No, perhaps. Just is. Actually, best one.
Okay. I mean, hey, I like them all. I love all the episodes of the show so far. But yeah, so that's most of you can find me also on the All Remaining Systems YouTube channel for Luminous Odyssey, the High Republic RPG series we're doing, DM by Michael McCoy, starring myself, Miss Taylor, Alden Diaz, and Joe Organa, and then the Epic Confrontation Star Wars Trivia League on the Star Wars in a Galaxy YouTube channel. So yeah.
That's not everything, is it?
I mean, the only other thing is Pro and Noob, and
yeah, which you can find next week right here. So like, comment, subscribe.
If I the
You didn't do it the other day.
What?
You didn't do it for a couple of episodes. I think it's the one that's actually out today.
Oh.
You didn't do it, and I'm like, because you were trying to do the full screen thing, and you can't do that anymore. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Defend the wall! Okay, continue.
No, end it.
Defend the wall! Objection!